Another episode of season 8 and tons of controversy as expected. I made myself a promise before this episode that I wasn't going to look into anyone's opinions on it because I have just been so underwhelmed or overwhelmed. I'm honestly not sure anymore because I feel like talking movies and TV online now is like politics. Fuck, even in person a lot of times these days, talking film is like talking politics. It's just a bunch of people arguing their opinion like it's fact, and it's frustrating as fuck. But yeah, I was trying to avoid it. I really was. I wasn't going to go on any site, and I was just on my feed, just going through, just trying to get to my groups and have fun and talk with my friends on Messenger. We have these chat threads, and I just couldn't avoid it. It was just like every other post of people either loving it or people fucking hating it and going at each other. It was just like, oh my God. This is why we can't have nice things. So, all right. So, as you guys can guess, because you know my feelings towards this show, I fucking loved this episode. In fact, I would go almost as far as to say, not going to say it yet for sure, but this is easily one of my favorite episodes ever, if not my favorite. I loved this. Now, for anyone out there, and I'm not knocking your opinion, I'm really not. If you didn't like the episode, or if you're not liking season 8, that is a bummer. I feel for you. I truly do. It sucks. Don't attack people, though. Be civil about it. And then if they're attacking you back, that sucks, but don't attack people. It's just silly. For anyone who's saying that the Daenerys turn comes out of nowhere, I really honestly don't know if they're paying attention to the show or not. I don't, and I'm not trying to be a dick about that. It's been foreshadowed since season 1. I mean, it's been foreshadowed the entire time. There's been so many moments when she has the vision of walking through the throne room and it's all fucking like tattered and decimated, and there's like snow falling through or ash. And then there's that shot of a dragon flying over the city, a single dragon flying over King's Landing. Like, there's been so much. And over the last couple seasons, Daenerys has kind of been feeling more and more isolated, more and more alone, more and more betrayed. And this season's been heavy on that. Everyone's been letting her down. Varys, Tyrion, Jon. She feels like she can't trust anybody. And then here comes Cersei, and she just slaps her right across the fucking face and kills Missandei right there, cuts her head off, throws her down, and is like, you ain't taking shit. She just had a dragon killed. She just felt betrayed by her lover. She just lost Jorah, her protector, the one person she felt like she could fully trust that would never turn on her. Tyrion went behind her back and told Varys before he even consulted with her on it. Sansa turned on her. Fucking Varys had to be put to death. She has this horrible thing happen in front of her. She has like her best friend has her head cut off right there in front of her. Her dragon was just killed. Like, everything is coming down on this girl. She's trying so hard, and this is her. Like, when she goes to the gates and she's like, fine, I will give them the chance to surrender, and she just cuts her fucking head off. And then when she comes in and she blows up her city and she stops and she waits and she hears the bells and she's like, no, you're not fucking getting off. No. And she just full on goes rage mode and is like, I don't trust any of these motherfuckers. No one was on my side. No one's going to be on my side. I need to show them the might of who I am. I need to burn this shit all to the ground and start over again. It's not out of nowhere for me, not in the slightest. I feel like this show has been, promising this from. I'm just surprised they actually did it. That's always what it comes down to. We have these moments where the hero has their chance to go dark. You have Rey. She'll have that chance. She's had that chance. She's not going to do it. Luke didn't fucking do it. Like, Thorin Oakenshield didn't do it. Fucking, you can go through all the big major trilogies and see that moment where they have that choice to do the wrong thing. And even if it's foreshadowed for a while, they always do the right thing because that's what the good guy does. And Daenerys, to me, has never really been the good guy. She's been obsessive. She's been someone who her whole fucking world is those dragons and the throne. The throne, the throne. That's all she gives a shit about. When it came down to her and Jon or the throne, and this is like her love, this is the person she's in love with, it was the throne. She was like, you need to put aside anything that you want, anything you're thinking about, and do this for me. Because he had the fucking right to the throne. And she's like, no, you're going to keep this secret because this is what I'm asking of you. I want this. You're not allowed to have it. It's mine. Like, that is not a relationship. That is not a discussion. That is somebody who is obsessed. Somebody who is, and she's done a lot, sure. And I've said this before. Jon's done a lot too. There's a lot to be said here. And it looks like Varys was right. But a lot of shit had to culminate. A lot of stuff had to happen for Dany to have this fall. I find it a tad ironic and a tad hypocritical in a way that for the first 2 episodes that are 50 minutes, I'm told by a bunch of people that those episodes are uneventful and boring and nothing's happening. I disagree heavily. I thought tons was happening in that. But then you have an hour and 20-minute episode, 3 of them in a row, and all 3 of them have major shit happening in them, but those are rushed and not thought out. Like, they're rushed. You feel like things are going too fast in the hour and 20-minute episodes when everything's happening, but like 50-minute episodes, nothing's happening and you're bored. That, for me, is kind of like I read it, and trust me, I get it. There would be complaints. People would argue, and they'd be like, no, this is what I want, and this, and I get it. But it just, when I read that stuff, I'm like, I honestly don't know if they could have given you anything you wanted. When I hear the complaint that they rushed it, okay, I can semi-agree with you there because, yes, fuck yeah, give me 5 more seasons. Are you kidding me? If it stayed at the quality that it is, I'll watch 10 more seasons. I'll watch fucking 20 more seasons. I'll watch as many seasons that they put out as long as it's good. I never get bored of shit as long as it's good. So, yeah, I'm on board. I know George R. R. Martin said that he wrote enough stuff for them to have 5 more seasons. Fucking A. Sign me up. We are getting the prequel show, so I know that that's going to be based on something. I'm down as fuck for that. Yeah. You want to fucking extend this and make it 10 more episodes, 50 more episodes? Absolutely. Sign me up. But they decided to close this out. They're following the major beats of what George wrote. He's said that. And I don't, is it rushed? I suppose. But it doesn't feel that way to me. I feel like this is a natural progression from where season 7 went to where 8 is now. The Night King came in, they had the big war, people wanted that to be more lengthy. I don't know, it was an hour and a half fucking battle. I mean, how much more do you want than that? And they fought them many other times in the show. And then we have the last war here, and it's an absolute obliteration. It is a massacre. This isn't a war, this is a slaughter. And just the way it all goes down, and so many wonderful things happens in this episode, so many fucking heartbreaking things, so many gut-wrenching moments. The stuff with Arya and the Hound is sweet. A lot, my buddy is a couple of my friends are not at all happy with what happened with Cersei and Jaime. I love it. It makes so much sense to me. This has also been foreshadowed. How do you want to die? In the arms of the woman I love. Cersei, no matter what you want, you can sit there and be like, Brienne's the better choice, he picked someone else, this and that. I don't think they understand the connection that Jaime has to Cersei. She's his life. He's tried to deny that. He tried his best, but he got there with Brienne. He laid down with her, he bedded her, and he was there for a moment and maybe felt some kind of happiness, but it wasn't what he wanted, A, and B, he says he feels like the villain. He doesn't deserve that. And he didn't go there to die. He went there to try to save her. He promised Tyrion he would take the boat and they would start a new life. And that's what he went there to do. So him going for Cersei, for the last 7 seasons, he's been infatuated out of his fucking mind for this girl. And yes, he left for a little while, but Have you not met, or have you not been a person who has this ex-boyfriend or this ex-girlfriend or this current boyfriend or that's like a fucking drug to you, and no matter how many times they hurt you, and no matter how many stupid fucking things they do, and no matter how many times you break up, and no matter how many times you say you're gonna leave and this is the last time and this and that, you can't help but go back? Really? No one can fucking relate to that? No one's had that experience? Bullshit. This is like that times fucking two, because they're twins. They feel like they have this bond. They have this bond. They have this true bond. I have twins. I know their bond. Yes, they're probably not going to be lovers. Let's hope not. But they do have an additional bond in, attached to that, also that love, that true love. They do have a true love. And he sees her as this villainous character, but he can't deny his love for her. And he tries his best, but he does the right thing, and he goes and he fights the war, so he redeems himself. I think that Jaime is redeemed in this moment. He goes and he helps fight the White Walkers. He puts himself at risk to be beheaded. He goes and he fucking stands in front of Daenerys Targaryen, the fucking woman whose father he killed. He goes against, Sansa and all these people who, he's betrayed and done terrible things to. He's pushed Bran out a window. He's all these things, but he went there because it was what was right. And once he did that, he probably went there thinking he was going to die. And when he survived that, he tried to have the life that he thought he should have. Like, oh, I'll just be with Brienne. She loves me. She's the right woman. And then he was laying there and he's like, I don't fucking deserve this. I want to be with the love of my life. And that's Cersei Lannister, like it or not. And that's just it. That's what this comes down to. I don't think it's poor writing because you disagree with characters' decisions. Just because Daenerys goes evil, that's not bad fucking writing. That's just a character decision that you don't agree with. And that's the funny thing that I find about a lot of these things. It's like, people are like, I just don't feel like that's true to the character, or I don't feel like that's something they would do, and this and that. How many people do you know that make the dumbest decisions, yourself included, that you're like, look back on, even if it was yesterday, even if it was an hour ago, even if it was right now, and you're like, what the fuck did I do that? What am I thinking? How many times have you done things that you're just sitting there like, oh my God, am I an idiot? And in moments of rage and anger, fuck, dude, we threatened to kill people on the road when they cut us off, and they never even done anything to us. How much shit has happened in Daenerys in the last just season, 2 seasons? She has a ton of reasons to do what she does, and she does it out of anger, out of fucking, and her bloodline is kind of cursed with this fever, this desire to burn shit up, and I don't know, she kind of just embraces it and goes for it, and I commend them for it. I applaud them for going so dark, and to watch this city burn. And we get to see a perspective of this show that we don't really get to see in a lot of stuff. In a lot of these like big action movies, we rarely get to see the perspective, the POV of characters on the ground. Characters that are being affected by this, that are just common folk, that aren't part of, House Lannister or House Stark or the Unsullied or the Dothraki or any of these people. Like, these are just innocents that are running for their lives, and to see the destruction, it adds such a weight to Daenerys' decisions. And I love seeing that. I love seeing Arya get to see it. I love to see Jon down there and being like, what the fuck is she doing? What have I done? And he has to stop this guy from raping, and he has to watch Grey Worm go on this fucking, on this total murder spree because he's pissed off. His love of his life just got fucking murdered, and he wants to kill all these people, fuck all these people, and this is his queen up there. He's allegiant as fuck, and I give him props for that. Now, what would they do is right? Absolutely not. Those guys surrendered. The bells ringing, that is such a moment. That is such a moment. Holy shit, when those bells ring and everyone's just like, the breath, I was just like, what is she gonna do? What is she gonna do? And then I saw the look on her face. But I knew that was coming because of the look on her face after she gets decapitated and she turns around. I was like, oh, fuck. I also thought her fate was sealed when she burned the Tullys. Like the 2 Tullys there, Samwell's dad and brother there. When she did that, I was like, Daenerys is going dark. Like, that was pretty much when I had decided in my head, like, she's too far gone. She wants this throne too bad. She's making these decisions. She's burned Varys. Like, for people to be like, this came out of nowhere, there were signs there. You just like the character too much to believe this of her. I feel like they gave it to you hook, line, and sinker, and you just didn't go for the bait. It was always there, you know? And I can respect that. I can respect that you loved a character so much you just didn't want it to happen, or you rejected the signs, but it was there, and she did it. And, you know, this is the show, and that's what George Martin wrote. I guarantee it. That's the way it was going. And you can feel like it's rushed, and you can feel like what it is, and it wasn't enough setup, but I felt like it was, and I'm happy with it. I'm happy I got to see the Clegane Bowl, as I guess it was deemed there. It got its namesake there, which was great. I mean, how could you not like that fight? That was so badass. It was reminiscent of like Castlevania or something. You're on the stairs and you're fighting, and these guys are going at each other, and he can't kill this guy. He's an undead fucking monster. He's this Frankenstein monster who's coming out, and we finally get to see his face, which looks very Darth Vader-esque to me. And they're just hating each other and cutting each other up. And the Hound has this sweet moment with Arya where she's going to come, and everyone thinks, oh, she's going to go kill Cersei and whatnot. And she runs up there, and he's like, you're going to die. Turn around, leave. You got this, whatever. And she decides to leave. That's another thing. That kind of stuff never happens. And he goes up, and he lets Cersei go. When the mountain grabs that dude and throws him, and his head blows up. And the gore in this episode is fucking on point. There's so much graphic gore. That guy gets like cut down here and his body kind of like splits. Amazing. That guy's head getting crushed on the rocks. Freaking, you know, the Hound's eyes getting ruptured, and he puts the fucking knife through his head, sword through his chest, and he tackles him, and you know, he tackles him into the fire. The Hound dies by fire by the guy who threw him into the fire. It's poetic, it's beautiful, it's such a great shot. There's a dragon flying by as the rubble's coming down, the building's falling apart, these guys are bashing on each other, everyone's running around in the city. I don't see how anyone can't find this shit epic as fuck. This episode is crazy. For a television show, I grew up on Knight Rider, Airwolf, fucking garbage stuff that has the lowest production value. You'd watch it now and laugh your fucking ass off at how horrible it is, and here I'm watching some fucking Lord of the Rings production value shit up on screen with all these amazing characters doing all these incredible things and all these betrayals and all these, you know, twists, and I'm just like, how are people not enjoying this? It's crazy to me. You got Euron and Jaime going at it, and Euron dies thinking, I'm the man that killed Jaime Lannister. No, you are not. Daenerys fucking Stormborn killed Jaime Lannister. And as far as their death, that's another thing I've heard complaints about, is that Cersei didn't get a bad enough death, that hers wasn't brutal enough. I completely disagree. I think she is completely broken. Absolutely, in every way. She knows that she killed all of her fucking people. She knows that she's about to die with the man she loves. They're not going to have a future anymore. She's killing her unborn child. She's already lost so many children, and now the one last kid that she has in her belly is going to die with them, and they're stuck. They try to get out. The way is blocked. Speak friend and enter, and fucking the way is shut. And yeah, they just sit there, and she is so broken. She's crying. She's so regretful. She's so sad. She's so broken. Mental trauma, mental, you know, her being so devastated. She's absolutely defeated emotionally, and you know, that to me is much more satisfying than her, as my friend Teddy Brown said, just stabbed her like 50 times. Like, okay, that's cathartic for the audience to be like, yeah, because I want to stab her, I can live vicariously through the character that's inflicting physical pain on her, because I can kind of emotionally connect to that. But for me, being emotionally just destroyed and utterly defeated like she was, and dying poetically the way she did with her brother, and them kind of seeing the errors of their ways in that moment, is so much better than someone just stabbing her. That's nothing to me. Like, that's just her dying so easily. That would be her getting off too easily, especially if she had some smug bullshit thing about it. She's like, fuck you, I don't feel sorry for nothing, and someone came and stabbed her, slit her throat. Lame. That would be so lame. No, I love the way that all happened. Loved Arya running through the city. I loved Jon protecting people and you know, trying to fight against it, and being like, what the fuck is happening here? And Arya, oh my God, that little girl and her mom, that shit was brutal. It was heartbreaking, man. She like tries to help this family who's, we see that family throughout the whole fucking episode. Like, Jaime encounters her, Jon encounters her, the Hound and Arya encounter her. Like, they all see it. Maybe Jon doesn't, but a lot of people run into this little family here. And Arya tries to help and brings them out of the building, brings them out. And you think, like, she's going to take the kid with her, but no, the kid runs back, gets burned up, and then she sees, like, the ash of the little toy horse. Oh, my God, just heartbreaking stuff. And oh God, so much happened in this episode. It's hard to keep it all straight. But anyway, I want to say I probably touched upon all the major stuff. Yeah, Varys getting burned. Oh man, just watching, just like thinking that this was actually going to be a war, and not seeing that at all. Just having, Drogon and Daenerys fly by and just take Euron's fleet out like they're nothing, like they're little toy boats, and then her coming and taking all the scorpions along the wall off, and then just utterly defeating their entire defenses, and then them just being like, okay, we surrender, we're done, fuck it, sorry. Imagine if she had all 3 dragons. Holy shit, she could have taken this town down much quicker, I guess. But yeah, she takes this whole shit out so fast, and it's wonderful. And what are my predictions for the final episode? Only 1 episode left. People keep saying, like, well, Dany's evil now, so who's gonna kill her? It's Game of Thrones. Maybe she won't get killed. Maybe she really will just rule, and she'll eliminate all of her enemies, Jon and everybody included. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them. I doubt that's what's going to happen. Yes, it does look like Arya probably is going to be the one, but I think it would be better for Jon to have to do it, because that'd be brutal. That would be brutal for him to have to kill the woman he loves. And his aunt, a family member, one of his only family members left, if not his only family member, like on the Targaryen side there, left. Brutal. And just, I don't know, that way, I could see a few people doing it, but Jon would be the one I'd like to see if he's going to do it. Arya seems like the odds-on favorite right now for me, because she's probably the one who has the most experience to be able to do it, the most skill set for that. But yeah, I really don't know where this is going to head. I don't know at all what's going to happen in the next episode. I'm so damn curious. I really have no predictions. I would love for it to go totally fucking dark. I'd love for Daenerys. I'm not even a big Daenerys fan, honestly. Maybe that's why I could enjoy this episode more than other people. But, for her to actually just burn them all and sit on the throne and credits roll, fuck yeah, man. The total downer ending where the bad guy wins, I'm down. Fuck yeah. We never see that, so give it to me. Yeah, anyway, other than that, guys, you can consider checking out my Patreon. I would love the assistance there, because this channel, it takes a lot of my time. And also, please go over and check out my podcast, In the Mic of Madness, right here on YouTube. I'm also on iTunes. I have 2 great co-hosts. We talk every week about some unknown flick. It's a fun time. You should come check it out. Other than that, guys, see you next week.